So this is the story of how Dr. Mike, yes, that Dr. Mike, with that amount of subscribers and that amount of followers, sent me these scrubs, but for a very good reason. A few weeks ago, Dr. Mike put out a video addressing a specific scrubs company called Figs. For those of you in the medical community, you may recognize Figs as the quote-unquote influencer scrubs company. I'll put the video in the description down below if you want to watch it in its entirety, but the TLDR is that medical students and healthcare creatives are being taken advantage of by companies that build their businesses on the free labor of broke and desperate students while giving them no compensation in return. On top of that, many of these companies are completely disconnected with the people they're trying to represent. You may have seen this advertisement lately. Yeah, neon pink scrubs, female doctor, blatant DO badge, and a medical terminology for dummies book held upside down. Now, does that seem like a proper way to represent the brave men and women, frontline workers that are out there right now? For one, in my time in the pediatric emergency department here, most of the residents are DOs, and I've interacted with them. They are all at the same, if not greater, competency level than the other MD residents. Plus, for the first time in many years, my medical school class is majority female, which I applaud as an encouraging step in the right direction in the fight against past medical stigmas. But for a company who flaunt the young healthcare professional all over their social media to turn around and represent their physicians like this, it's just inexcusable. So where does Dr. Mike come in? Well, in that video Dr. Mike put out, he actually stood up to Figs. He stood up for medical school creatives like myself and many of you watching, and reaffirmed that we shouldn't have to beg companies to send us a pair of scrubs that literally cost them fractions of a cent to manufacture just so they can turn around, get publicity, and then not give us any sort of compensation for our media skills and our audiences. In that video, he put in the description a Google Forms where he said he set aside $20,000 to buy scrubs for anybody that filled out the form. No strings attached. Just put in the link of the scrubs you want, as long as it's not Figs, your size, your name, email address, and then your address, and then it's a done deal. I chose the scrub company Janu. It's a great alternative for high-end scrubs. They are not sponsoring me nor partnering with me, so I'm not going to do an in-depth review at all, but I will say that they are made by doctors, for doctors, and truly support their field. By the time I saw Dr. Mike's video, it had about like 3,000-ish views, which for somebody as big as him, that could be accurate or not. And I filled out the form with no expectation to really get anything in return because I was sure tons of people filled it out before me. But then, one day, a blue package showed up at my door. And so I took a picture and I tagged him in my Instagram story because I wanted to thank him. That was something really cool he did. And well, he reposted me on his story. And as you can imagine, my Instagram kind of blew up. I gained a couple hundred followers instantly, and unfortunately a couple thousand people saw me watching the Masters in the middle of one of my meetings. Yeah, kind of called out. But yeah, he actually came through on his promise, which goes a long way, especially with somebody that big to be looking out for the smaller creators on the platform like myself. It means a ton, and it leads the way with showing how we should interact with companies that desire our media expertise. So this is a message to the healthcare creatives out there. Whether you are looking to or currently building a following on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever it may be, your work and your time is valuable, and the companies and brands that reach out to you should respect the amount of effort that goes into creating your art. Do your research into these companies to find out if they are truly representing and protecting the interests of your healthcare field before ever partnering with them. For the students looking to buy a pair of scrubs and looking for some alternatives, I've linked some down below. Again, none of them are sponsoring me. These are not affiliate links. I just want to make sure that you have options to support companies that deserve to be supported. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Mike, for your generosity and for sticking up for the medical school creatives. I, as well as the thousands of other students who were able to get scrubs through your initiative, cannot express enough gratitude. And I want to thank you, Dr. Mike, for inspiring millions of future doctors around the world. I hope to one day be able to return the favor and be as generous with the future of medicine when that time comes. But until then, thank you.